ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for joining us on National Poetry Award-winning P.O.E.T. Radio Voices Behind the Pen, hosted by Blaq Ice. Also joining us this evening is Been Real, Poetical Angel Queen, and this is Misconception. Yet again, I want to thank you all for joining us here.
My first cry is here. Initially left to die here, but I survived here. Overtaking the job of the undertaker. Born to spit fire, replacing the formula with butane in my bottle, jet fuel. Get fuel like plane gas, no procrastination, taking off while you're delaying your flight, lying, waiting, you're lying, and waiting on someone to big you up, small potatoes. I eat to live. What's for dinner? I was left to fend for self-survival of the fittest, so what's for dinner? Throw me to the wolves amongst trees and shadows. I return leading the pack firewood to matches. Shadow man. Shadows can cause an eclipse with equipment to flip the script and rip the sun in half. Welcome to the dark side. To the sun doesn't shine here. Apartheid. A corroborated death sentence. The coagulation of darkness transpired into the maturation of carcass, hence the last no dying breed. Tried to overly saturate the curtain of my shadow, but didn't realize I was a seed. See, I grew here. Up to my ankles in ink like wading through life's storms. Waterlogged. My pen lily pads like frogs. Gray skies, income clouds of thick fogs. No pets, no children, no neighbors walking their dogs. Just me. My pen stalled out, brain polluted by the smog. This is a dark side. I have a question. What's a shadow in the shade? What's the real difference between a 6-foot and a 12-foot grave? Nothing. What do you get when you're playing for a royal flush, but then you continuously dealt a handful of shit, and even then you go all in? No bluffing, it's cold here. Feeling the constant heat from cold glares, lukewarm stares that don't amount to nothing. Constant feelings of repugnance to having a foreign and faint idea what love is. They say being hooked on drugs is one and the same. It fucks with your senses, leaves you feeling defenseless. You can smell it in the air, taste it, take it into your lungs, or take it in vain. Never been vain, but name been taken in vain, but digress. Well, I guess I'll go now. It's beginning to rain. Welcome to the dark side. Peace.
Stopping and starting in college, but nevertheless, like a dude with a little bitty DJ Paul arm and a backpack with a boat strap, I'm fixing to drop that knowledge. Now, you know, if your breath stank, your nose ain't too far from your mouth. And if you over 30, nigga, you know you like Hammer Vanilla Ice when they first came out. And you know she ain't that old, even if she got a body. And you know you ain't right, fighting, breaking up the party. You know you old stank thugs need to smile sometime, nigga. You know the mean mugs ugly. Come on, girl, you know I got style. You know you want to hug me. You know that you love me. Why you acting like that? You know it's almost 9 at 10. You got to take your mama car back. And you know it ain't that you too fat. It's that you big and your ass is flat rocking that spandex. And you know you ain't that drunk. It ain't that dark in the club. That's a man in that dress. And you know you selling wolf tickets sticking out your bird chest because, boy, you know you box like a girl. You know you can't flex. You know you a punk if you sell poison to your people. And you know when you vote, you choose at least the two evils. And you know you knew your flow was weak before you grabbed the mic. And you know most rappers can't rap. Their beats is just tight. You know that's Negro behavior when you in public cussing like a sailor. And you know this ain't no democracy. Ask Emmett Till, Mike Brown, Diallo, Luima, Michael Taylor. Even if the glove wasn't fitted, y'all know OJ did it. You know, America might need to chill on that foreign policy. Somebody's finna drop a bomb in a minute. And you know that man on that cross on that chain on your neck, but kind of like the man who has kept us oppressed. You know he wasn't white. He had skin like bronze, hair like wool. You know the scriptures got to be true. You know he was an African Jew. You know there ain't no J in the Hebrew language. You know somebody don't want you to know he looks just like you. You know, racial politics aside, I like white people. I love them. I just can't dig their hair. You know, I'm going to invent a backwards perm to give them automatic naps, I swear. You know, I throw below the belt. And I know smoking all these blunts is considered bad for my health, so I be trying to vaporize. Plus, it's good for stealth. And you know you came out the house half dressed, baby girl, respect yourself. And even though she's half dressed, bro, that don't mean you can touch her and you know what it is. Why you scared to just love her? And you know you ain't pimping, nigga. You know you be lying. You know that girl that dumped you last month had your sensitive ass crying. You know you got issues, but you know I got more. You know I hate shopping, getting followed all around the store. And you know gold teeth tattoos don't make a man a crook, and you know the bank be robbing you. Just look at their accounting books. And you know you a fiend even if you still sniffing. It's like choosing between drinking coffee and eating the beans. It still ain't no difference. And you know whether giving or receiving, still I don't care how much jail time you had. You know you wasn't doing that bad. And you know they made AIDS. You know they some criminals trying to kill everybody in Africa to take all the minerals. You know girls ain't like you before you bought that ice, but I guess to you over 10,000 deaths a year in Sierra Leone and black babies with no hands is a reasonable price. You know I recite truth. You know you like these rhymes. You know what I'm saying? I'm a love dealer slinging words like work. You know I'm on the grind. You know I could go on and on. The most high writes these lines. Hold up, wait, it's getting late. Man, you know the time? I got to go because, you know, I want to know what's on your mind if that's fine. And just one more thing before I resign, I'll be at the bar like, man, where that one waitress at with the cute face and the thick waist. Damn, she knows she fine. In peace.
Turbulence in the streets. Shots fired, another laying in a pool of blood. Murder by the blue monster. Black lives discarded like garbage. Hatred and fear running rapid. So many tears, a river of sorrow. Anger and devastation coursing through the community. The innocent falling into the grave. As the blue monster continues his reign of terror. Walking free to spread the bereavement, color is a sad factor, one race against another. Mortality overwhelming the immaculate, all trust lost when blood is spilled on the daily. Maliciousness towards the chase. How long will the jury be naive, allowing the monster's freedom? When will love and compassion procure the day? Seize the righteous conduct. Bring the murderers to a permanent conclusion. Allow faith and respect to be restored. Bring the blue monsters to justice. Poetical Angel Queen, and peace.
When I write, I let my words speak. I swear that my soul sings when its ink flows to the rhythm of my heartbeat. It's like R&B when I hear this pen scratching to these vocally challenging vocabulary words. My fingers got rhythm and blues. It's like I'm tuned in to my own radio station. Spoken word FM, no static, clear audio listening. My DJ stay on. I got high ratings. My knob stay turned to commercial-free album. That's right, you know the melody. I feel free. I have keys to the cell, no prisoner to these visions, and embedded in me, I have a large white canvas with pictures painted on it, with a hardwood frame around it, very representational, situational, inspiring atmospheres, extravagance to my brain, relaxation of jazz in my spirit. You see, this be black art, so I take a sip of soul, to sit back and relax and lay back to these melodies, the lyrical eighth notes in my mind, because over and over again I got to rewind, intertwine, 8 marks die on this revised treat, and sometimes I have to take a beat to a P, puff, inhale, exhale, these good words, because these words are getting higher. I got lyrical power that I withheld. You see, I found myself to write of natural things and dreams of sexual fantasies, and being me, I have a wide creative ability to spark interest when I'm at my best, but all hears me. None exactly wants to be me. People say they want to take baby steps in my mind and find what I've been thinking about from day-to-day basis, but I can see their faces now, full of nervousness, confusion, as they try to rebound back into their mind state, get out this maze, this enigma that I've been trapped in, that I got used to, but I mastered it. I've been in it since God had a thought of creating my exact essence, and this explicitness that goes on has me feeling like I have brain waves of a touchable force, and I'm sorry I'm forced to thought to have a large capacity of arrogance of poetry, but this spoken word thing seem to be overwhelming me. So constantly I take these images that live and exist in this mystical realm, and I cut, copy, and I paste them around this pad. So my bad if I have memories, and my bad if I tell stories, scripts, and you feel you have something to do with it. It resembles it. Some kind of coincidence. You see, that's what it just is. It's some kind of remote control that runs these fingers and these pencils. I can change channels. I can flip the different modes. I can go to my menu and touch on any category. Because honorably, I can be spoken into any woman's ear. A sexual arousal, her mental cortex, talks to my stimulating touch. I'm just a man looking for metaphors so I can find a new way to find a new atmosphere. Because at most, I am a man of lyrical intelligence, a mainframe serving several connected terminals, holding those thoughts of acquisitive thinking, because I see reality and I speak authentically, being lyrically unique to these eardrums. That's why I write script in peace.
I hear the voices cry. Over the years, the evolution has been stagnant as the movement to the revolution is rampant, moving so swiftly the tide of the flows of time, effortlessly but ever so effectively. The voices have cried out in disbelief and an attempt to recover with still no relief. I hear the voices cry. Over the years, the solution has been stagnant while the attempts have been made to mute and fade out the cries with propaganda. The constant retelling of communities in strife and resistance while the real occurrences are less frequent. But the war cry that they scream has brought a terroristic military-style policing and presence, prepared to control population and further decrease resources. I've witnessed my own beloved friends like family, departed homeland, and participation of fight over oil and deceit, all coming back traumatically posted in a syndrome of defeat. I mean, suffering from post-traumatic syndrome, struggling to eat with a new fear, having a family to feed, while still rising prices they try to reach. I hear the voices cry. Over the years, assistance has been stagnant, while the racing rages of incoming generations come in with more strength and vigilance, newborns coming in with old spirits fearlessly ready to conquer success and challenge, sometimes being so distracted by painting the art of war, forgetting the ability to create is the real talent. See, sometimes trapping themselves in the shelter of chaos and havoc, with a false sense of entitlement, arguing the wrong as they're trending the gotta have it. Material, not historical or knowledgeable possessions, is now the focus, and a false sense of reality through mixed message is created, and now by the only sense of definition, declaring individuality, but in mixed company, blending in with the masses, becoming free marketing for the labels that denote fashionable but empty pockets, appearing to be superficial with no substance. I must admit I'm willing to strive to resolve this, but I stand in need of fellow soldiers who will combat this, opening the channel leading to the end of self-destruction. I hear the voices cry because the progress has been stagnant. Due to an interruption in the regularly scheduled program of Lending a Hand, we've been able to offer the witness accounts of sheer madness. Living in the land of purge-filled mentality, forgetting the industry of film on occasion presents us a combination of imaginatives covering reality, believing we're so unconscious from the fragmented tears in our community that we'll miss the truth presented by oxymoronic, bold subtleties. Because I hear the cries, I am sounding the alarm. It's time we reprogram and debrief the insanity. Take the advantage to awaken so that not only the quantity but the quality of life will prolong. I do hear the voices cry. Because the progress has been stagnant, I commit to influence change so that we may rightfully assume, acquire, and expand righteous survival of our own. In this land and any nation, I'm challenging others to bring on the embrace of each other, taking away the mass spread of desensitization, accepting the assignment to humanely protect and love all melanated creation, participating in an epidemic of peace to balance the polarity of life. As for too long, it's been uneven. So as we shall rise, our energies elevate to propel us to a more divine state. No longer will the voices cry in distress of stagnance, but now we are one melody, on one accord, one love, one light. From the shallow in the valley, we emerge, reclaiming the value of our life in peace.
The innermost thoughts of a man are sacred. And when exposed, it normally renders him vulnerable, perhaps weak, but definitely naked. But this girl right here, just me, she was different. She was beautiful. She was special, high-spirited, and free. And I can just imagine myself giving her part of me. Wait a minute. I can even imagine myself giving her all of me. Instantly we clicked, but I was reserved about how I felt because I knew that if I exposed my hands too soon, what she would have to control. Besides, I knew then what I would have to do. Besides, at the time, I wasn't ready because I was into some things, but I was willing to let go. See, I knew the time and attention that she would command, and see, Tracy, I knew how far I had to be willing to go, so we went from casually speaking to hugs to kisses on the cheek. And the Periella she had on smelled so good, but that wasn't what made it sweet. She reiterated the fact that she had a man in her life, but it was cool because shopping in this market here, Black Ice had to be looking for a wife. But as friends, I got to know her mind. She strove to be a better woman as I strove to be a better man, and we both knew beyond a certain point we wouldn't be able to rewind. But it seemed as if we had known each other for a lifetime, still remaining in front of this point of no return. Not only that, respecting his line. And so one day we got close and alone, and it must have been at a time that it wasn't meant for us to miss, because we made eye contact like we knew each other's thoughts, and things ignited, being sparked by a kiss. My mind had been taken to a place that I tried so hard to keep it from. Now I was going half crazy trying to control myself, but after this kiss, there was nowhere that I could run. I felt cornered. Besides, my heart was telling me yes, while my mind maintained that I should be recessive. Now tell me, what does a cat do when he's cornered against the wall? See, y'all, it was time for Black Ice to get aggressive. A final test on the heels of this special day. I'm in a mood for something different and new. I called her up. Listen, baby, I'm in a jacuzzi suite with a room full of roses, and the only thing that's missing is you. So she came, and man, I mean, she came, and no, but y'all, seriously, she came, and we both got in the mood. Now, I don't know whether it was the bed full of rose petals, the terrace, or the CD we had on, but we was listening to some DeAndre Sexy Grooves. And as we held one another and kissed one another, I noticed the tear roll down the side of her face. Now, I don't know whether she was feeling guilt from this other man, but I held her tightly in my arms, letting her know that each and everything was going to be okay. I don't want to say that her thoughts were second, but she was definitely having second thoughts. But as soon as that number 17 on that Sexy Grooves, number 12 came on, there was no more hesitation, no more stalling, and no more faults. By that time, our bodies had both agreed, and subtly our minds became one. Now, there was feelings I never felt, sounds that I never heard, and oh, remember when I said she came? Am I repeating myself if it's multiple times that she comes? It was like a piece to a puzzle that had finally been found, a perfect fit. I felt like she was made for me. And it was like we touched one another, but in spirit, this thing was much more deeper than a third eye could see. And when we held each other, she became my doorway to ecstasy. And just the fact that she was lying right next to me made me want to get her the best of me. See, ladies, I learned a long time ago that it's not the size, the stamina, or even the amount of time, but it's a big difference between making love to somebody and making love to somebody's mind. But just when I thought it couldn't get no better, what happened next was sort of strange. Now, seeing taking her to another place, I guess she forgot what she was. No, she didn't. She just called me somebody else's name. So should I ignore it? Act like I didn't hear it, or should I get up and show her ass the front door? No, besides, I wanted more, but this guy's name was familiar, man. It was like I heard it somewhere before. And there she goes again. It was like he was there, or at least in her mind, he wasn't that far. And now I'm feeling like we went from a one-on-one encounter, and now we lying here and got a menage a trois. This thing that was so special, that I adored, that I cherished, that I enjoyed. Oh, and now I recognize the name that she was calling on, y'all. She was calling on the name of my boy. But hey, I really like this girl, so to leave now would be kind of hard. Besides, let me ask y'all a question. Should I really be mad if she called my boy's name and my boy's name is God? You, me, and he. That's that piece.